Well, I'm on my way back to Ohio. It is now 10 to 5. 10 to 5. My eyes just barely started burning out of my head thanks to Lexi, Tim's daughter, who got me some eye solution. My sclera, as she said, it was quite inflamed, quite sore. That was a frustrating. No, it wasn't frustrating at all. Weather-wise, it was. I guess it was an inclement day. It wasn't cold, but I was saturated after the 9th qualifier, and I was in the 19th. Further to that, Tim had a horse that I rather liked, and he'd made a break and was hitting himself and getting out of gear. And luckily enough, his blacksmith was still there, and I said, hey, why don't you take this horse up, get him to change his front shoes, bring him back for the schoolers, and we'll school him off the gate. Now, it ended up with an argument with an old friend who it was just a long, muddy day, and we had two horses in the schooler, and I kind of interfered. I kind of scared the filly, and she made a break. It's just the way it is. I just sent Tim a message. I said, we both run hot. Big engine, small oil pan. But, it's just the way it is. And this colt, I really liked what I saw from him. He got into his knees a little bit. He reminded me a little bit of Captain Incredible. Not the same raw talent just yet, but I haven't seen him before. Today was the first time I'd ever saw the horse. And the way that we had him shod for the schooler in the pouring rain, he was very good. And the thing I liked about him was he was uncomfortable in the sense that I don't think he ever stretched out at true racing speed before, because they were always trying to protect him and get him off his knee and coddle him and just have him inch forward and progress and then turn into a racehorse. Well, today I think he made some big leaps and bounds, and to be fair, it had nothing really to do with what I had thought. Dean had said to me after I pulled him up, he had said, I think we're going to have to go to aluminum at some point, and he was right. I had said to him, why don't we shoot him like Captain Incredible? And Tim looks at me and goes, he is. I said, okay, well, don't do that then. Why don't we try him with the aluminums on? And he was picking at his knee, but he was comfortable. There was no discomfort. Let his head check way down. So I felt a lot of, from his colt, I felt a lot of greenness, because a lot of what he was experiencing, he'd never experienced before. He wasn't mauling his knee. His head was low. We took all the gear off him, and I had chased him and kind of got on him a little bit with the whip, and I spooked Tim's other horse is what I did. So, my fault. But the horse schooled good, and I was really happy with the pacer, and happy for Tim too. I mean, it's not just our horses. I want to see everybody do good. I certainly want to see Tim's horses do good. And he had told me there was an earlier horse he thought was an okay little horse. Man, I thought he qualified really, really well. He won his qualifier. So there's always stuff to be done, and I think there's a way forward for a number of these horses. But I really like that big pacer, and I really like the little pacer. So let's get to our pacers. Obviously, a lot of messages coming in talking about Perfect Thought, talking about Tomboy Strong. They're the headliners of today. I'll start with Tomboy Strong. I'm going to work my way around and ramble a little bit in this video. So if you're not in the mood for an extra long rambling, then maybe just watch it later on. Tomboy Strong, we always thought was a nice horse. But then she got beat on the front last week. I didn't think she should have, but she did get beat on the front. And when I told you guys she's not as good on the front end, she's more of a stalker than a front end filly, but needed a good stretching. And of course, it started to pour rain, and I mean pour rain, when we went on the track with Tomboy Strong. Immediately, my eyes, as I said, I was joking, but my eyes were just burning. All that mud and dirt just in your sclera, apparently it's called. But it was, it's not a nice feeling. And just to have it consistently and continuously bombarded, it wasn't a cool feeling, for sure. So I got away in the 3-hole. Was not putting her on the front today. Chris Page ended up on the front. We went 32-104. I'm a taffin 104-3, and I let her rock. And I put the coal right to the fire when I cleared to the front, opened up. And even I was surprised. I had to do the math again and again and again. 56-3 in the pouring rain. That's what it was. That's a big last quarter. And that filly looked extremely good. And I say it all the time, I love the merciless behavior some of these horses show, because you need it, right? You need them to just put an A+ effort in from start to finish, or at least when you move them till the wire, after the wire, into the turn. Do it right. Stamp it with an exclamation mark, and she certainly did today. She looked very, very good in some very inclement weather. So I said the other day, hopefully they fill the next generation races, because it certainly looks like we got a nice filly there with Tomboy Strong. Not only is she a nice filly and she's fast, but she's a beautiful filly also. And it even makes me more happy that we have the full sister on the ground now in Southern Ohio. Foal last week by Long Tom, filly out of Muscle Chrome. So that's great. Perfect Thought. I know James would not be happy with me with today's mile. You know, it was my fault. She got away on me a little bit. And what had happened was, it was just starting to rain. And we got half in a minute and 2/5. I was a little mad because I want to go mile 55, 56, race her next week, ship her out to the Meadowlands. I go half in a minute and 2/5. Whatever, maybe she'll still go mile 56, we'll see. And I let her rock down the backstretch. I didn't pick up the 3/4 pole because it was starting to rain, and I'm like trying to get my glasses down. And I missed the 3/4, but I know, I mean, even an internal clock, I drive horses for a living, or enough of them. Anyway, I'm thinking 27-3, 27-2, that's the 3/4, 127. You know what, I'm gonna let her rock coming out of the turn, put the bit in her mouth halfway down the lane, finish up the mile, and I saw it flash up into the corner of my eyes. I'm like, oh, 54? That can't be right. It was. Earplugs in, and I had her on idle halfway down the lane. She's just, but you know, we talked about jailbird jog last week, and I used the word abnormal. Abnormally high rate of speed. Just carry it, just keep going like there's no end. Scoped her after. The Perfect Thought I'm talking about. Just a tiny ulcer on her palate, and you can see it, I guess, if you watch. So I watched the videos again. I went to the gas station, I filled up, I got a water, and then I sat there for 40 minutes watching the videos. You can see her coming to the half. She just kind of threw her head a little bit. It's that ulcer on her palate. So wherever we go, whatever we do, we're going to have to work on that. Which is odd, because she doesn't grab a hold of you at all. She's the sweetest horse in the world. Just the perfect horse. Race her from off the pace, follow a helmet, and now put her on the front. She just crushes everybody. You do whatever you want with her. She's just a naturally gifted animal. One quite frankly, one that we may never have seen before. And I don't want to say, I don't want to throw around, you know, sayings like that, because it sounds a little silly. The horse just qualified, but when's the last time you saw a horse pace like that? So easy going. And it certainly didn't feel like I was anywhere close to approaching the bottom of the filly, which is insanity in its own right. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters, because we still have to see who else is out there and what else is going on. But I feel very lucky. We have some very, very nice horses. Every year I like to say, you know, this is the best group of horses we ever had. And there's that voice inside me saying, didn't you say that last year? And wait, no. And the year before? And I'm pretty sure maybe the year before that. I think it's fair to say that we're on the cusp of that coming to fruition. And maybe it was better every year. Maybe it was close, but I don't think we've ever seen two horses like that. And they overshadow some extremely good horses too. Tomboy Strong, Xena Kemp, the miles these horses went. Leland Hanover. I didn't even think he'd be ready yet. Paced a half in 56, a quarter in 28 in the pouring rain again. Now the sun did come out. That's not true. It stopped raining for a minute. The sun came out because I felt like a lobster, you know, wrapped in plastic, and then the sun comes out, because that's a cool feeling. Leland Hanover, again, that's the first time he's ever seen speed. We've been a half and 4 in the jog card, 5, maybe 31 seconds, 32 seconds, but he's never seen 56. He's never seen 28. Again, finished up. That was more of a James-like drive. Finished up right behind Mike Wilder. Never asked him to advance. Maybe the last 50 yards. Never kicked the earplugs. Just kind of showed him a little daylight and then tucked him back into bed. He looked good. So I'm looking at the staking of all the horses now. Perfect thought. It actually worked out good today. A big mile today. In 10 days, that would be somewhere around next Friday. She could potentially race at the Meadowlands. That's 1 week before the kindergarten. Now, if there's no prep races, which I find it very hard to believe, then we could race her here. But my thought right now is she needs to go to the East Coast. In 10 days, which is good timing. Train her up a little, 4 days out. Race her, nice prep for the kindergarten. Then the New Jersey Sires. Then the kindergarten again on August the 1st. Now the New Jersey Sires, I'll tell you right now, I'm looking at it right now. No, I'm not looking at it. I was looking at it before I began driving, and now I'm remembering what was on the screen. The kindergarten, July the 4th. Now, if we wait 10 days, it's exactly the 27th of June. So that would be 1 week before July the 4th, which would be the kindergarten, first elimination. That leads into the 11th of July, which is the New Jersey Sire Stakes first elimination. 18th, 7 days later. 25th, 7 days after that, is the New Jersey final. And then you go another leg of the kindergarten, second leg, if you even want to race in that leg, because it's the 25th of July and then the 1st of August. So now you're at 5 weeks in a row. I would almost suggest you skip leg 2 of the kindergarten. No, you have to. My apologies. You have to skip leg 2 because the final was not on the 25th. The final is on August the 1st. Now they have this New Jersey grown pace. I think you just leave that one alone, right? You got to give her a rest. You can't just continue to race her. Now she's at almost 5 weeks. So you miss the New Jersey homegrown pace. Might even skip the Renaissance also and aim for the third leg of the kindergarten. August 29th, New Jersey Classic. Let me just do the math quick. Prep race on the 27th of June. Kindergarten on the 4th. New Jersey Sire Stakes 4, 18, 25. And August 1st. We're at 6 starts and we're at August 1st. That's a lot. Missed the 9th. Missed the 16th. Have it ready to go August 22nd. There's your second one. New Jersey Classic on the 29th. Elimination. There's 8. New Jersey Classic, hopefully final, September the 5th. There's 9. And then I think the big girl heads north. She's a Great Lady. She's a Great Lady, elimination and final, 11. If we go there early, which we probably should. And then we have the Breeders' Crown. And if we really want to, we're looking at kindergarten. I'm not that worried about that. And the 3 Diamonds, we're not going to be around for those, I don't think. So again, a conversation we had with our clients. I had to do it last week for Jailbird Jog. I'm going to do it again. I'm thinking, I don't know what you want to do with the kindergartens, but definitely New Jersey Sire Stakes, New Jersey Classic, She's a Great Lady, Breeders' Crown. There's enough races in New Jersey for this filly. And I suspect she'll do just fine. So that was a little look at Perfect Thought. Now I'll be doing all of these tonight, I would imagine, as when Amy gets home, we'll have a look at all these. So that was Perfect Sting. That was Tomboy Strong. Both looked incredibly good today. Now let's rewind all the way to the start of the day. In New York, if you were going to say, all right, Anthony, Who's the breaker today? You're going to have a breaker. Somebody from the barn's going to make a breaker miscue. It's probably in New York. I like in New York, and I think he's going to grow into be a very nice horse. He feels fast, and he's got the right attitude, but he does interfere. I could see in New York's 2025 season going a number of ways. One of them, we go down and we race him. I think we race him in the Fairs first start. I don't even think we go to Oak Grove and race him in the Sire Stakes. I think I just let Eric just take him right over to Lebanon. Go race him there. He went with him the other day. You know, he knows him. Trot the turns, great. Just got to hold him together in the straightaways. He could run. Likely will run. But I'd like to get 2 or 3 lines into him, decent lines into him in 2025 and turn him out and let him grow up. Because he's got the right mental attitude. He wants to be a good horse. He's bred to be a good horse. Let's give him the ability to be a good horse. Grow up, mature. Qualified as good as he could. 2, 2, and 4, last quarter 31, last half in a minute and a bit. But I got to hold him together the whole way down the lane, right? But he did it. It's crazy loud. But he did it. And he did his work really, really well. Now I talked about Henry Sugar, that's his name. Tall Dark Stranger to Sweet Lady Jane. I like this horse. I want to go with him next week. Royal Flushdale, he qualified okay. I mean, at some point there's going to be some 2-year-olds we offer up to sell. Is he going to go to New Jersey and make that immediate impact? Honestly, I'm a little torn, and I just want to take a couple of days and digest what I saw from this horse. He's a big, big colt. He does have some talent. Does he have enough to be a horse we need to hold over and be a good horse, or is he just an expensive horse that we can turn over and move? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. My initial thought on it was, you know what, just he's gonna make a nice 2-year-old. He's eligible to a lot of things. Just put him up for sale. Somebody else will scoop him up and race him. Then I watched his video, and I remember sitting behind him saying, geez, this is a gigantic horse. He's really grown up a lot. And that voice inside me saying, well, why don't you just turn him out? I think we can race him in a maiden. He'll probably win a maiden. He'll probably take a mark of 58 or 59 as a 2-year-old. But is he going to go to New Jersey? I don't know. But I am going to ask for 48 hours to think about Royal Flushdale. Then I went with Don't Ask Again. I come off the car and I'm like, perfect. I'm going to drop right in the 2-hole. Perfect. And then as I go to get in the 2-hole, Eric Neal looks over and he starts grabbing his horse like he wants me to cut it. And I'm like, you don't want this horse on the front end. He goes, I can't be on the front with mine. I can't cut a mile with this filly. And then I'm like, well, maybe I can. I don't know. 30 and a piece. She's trotting along nice. 101. I'm like, big girl's really grown up. She sees everybody at the fence. She's like, you know, I think I'm just going to hang out with them. I'm going to watch the last half. And she just pulled up. She didn't turn right. She just slowed up. I got 2 or 3 good knees right in the back from Eric. And then Chris Limes clears the front. Clears the front. Like, hey, hit her a couple of squats. She takes back off. And then down the lane, she gets clear sailing and she's coming again. She's a follower. But she was taking a run at the leaders at the wire and did go by them after the wire. You just can't put her on the front. Can't get there. You can't do that. But she was trotting great. Trotting great and felt good, except for the portion of the mile where she was going to slow down to a walk. She's green, a little stupid. But I do see a dramatic improvement from her also. I was so hoping I would see this when she got to the gate. I don't think speed is going to be a problem. They can go out going 57 in front of her. I believe she will follow and attack down the lane. I think she is going to be some sort of stake filly. I assume Stallion Series. It's probably where we'll start her. But she was good. She was very good today. I talked about Perfect Thought, 16 lengths, 27 flat in the end of it. She was great. Tomboy Strong, 28-3, last half, 56-3. And it was teeming rain when she went. That was a great mile from that filly. Sweet Lake was good too. You continue to see her get better and better and better. This is foolish weather. Just pouring rain. It was just stunning a minute ago. Sweet Lake, 4 beat, 3 3/4, 27 and 3 on the end of it, 58 and 2. I said to Tim, Hoodwood Cups, let her hobbles at a hole, I think. Maybe they could stay. Put a set of knee boots on her. I saw a rub mark on one knee pulling up. She's going to learn to be a big filly. She's got a big engine in her behind, and she's going to get better and better and better. She's how most good fillies look. You know, when you go with a perfect thought, it's like, yeah, she's okay. Take her out of the equation, and Sweet Lake was pretty decent. Go Strong Hanover has an entrapment. I was angry after the race. I'm like, this horse is going to torture me all summer long. I know he is. 2-1 flat, 29 and 3, but should be trotting 58, 59. There's no excuse for it. Well, that's not true. Now it's sunny again. That's not true. There is an excuse for it. He had an entrapped epiglottis. And I don't know the last time we scoped him, but he said it's there. It's been there for a while. I just talked to Dr. Brown. He's going to take him tomorrow and fix that entrapment. What does that mean for Go Strong Hanover? I'm going to defer that until I talk to Dr. Brown tomorrow when he actually sees him under scope. Regardless of what he does, it's fixed. But if he has to go in and remove the membrane, it's a couple of weeks. If he goes in, trims it, so it's not trapped anymore, then it might be a week or so. But that'll be up to the horse, Dr. Brown, and the scope of the first. Little Mickey horse. Life Story Mickey. He's good. Good for him. Degas was good. Scope sick after. Now it's the remnants. I believe the end of sickness. She trained 4 days ago. She qualified. Her qualifier was good. It was pouring rain. Give the track 2 seconds. They should have at least 2-1 and 1, 29 and 2 on the end of it for Philly. Remember, it's been 2 weeks since she's been able to train hard. She missed all those hard training trips over the last week and a half. But to get her to Kentucky for next Monday, she had to qualify today. Well, she's qualified well, but scoped full of mucus. No blood. And her blood work came back good, so it's the end of something in there. I'm actually going to leave her in... I'm going to leave her at the Meadows for the next 3 days. Dr. Stanek and Tim are going to work on this filly, see if we can't clean her up before she ever steps foot in the truck to Kentucky. I want her scope clean and her blood work to come back perfect. If we can do that before Saturday afternoon, then by all means, she can go. And I'm going to enter her, but make no mistake, I'm going to tell all my partners right now, if we enter her, which I'm sure is like Thursday, and she's not fit to get on that truck on Saturday, then trust me when I tell you, we will scratch her. And she will not go to Kentucky until the second leg of the Kentucky Sires at Oak Grove. She was good today. Very pleased, very proud of that filly, especially after knowing what was waiting in that scope in her throat. So a good mile from her. Captain Doolittle, I told you he's going to get better and better and better every week. He's going to take that work and put it to good use. 2-1 and 2 today. Again, pouring rain in the mud. Half in 1:01 and 2. Last half in a minute. Last quarter 30 seconds. 30 and 2. So another good mile from him. And then a horse that I touted this horse. I told you we talk about Perfect Thought and Tomboy Strong, but under hypotheticals, you guys know how I feel about Leland Hanover. I am shocked that he's even ready to go. I told Marco, I told all our partners, just relax. He's not going to be ready to go till the middle of July. Well, went to train him last week. He trained great. Put about 50 pounds on. Trained great again this week. I did originally have him slated to qualify at the Northfield Park on Sunday, but coming to the Meadows and being a Pennsylvania bred, let's take him. He was great. 59 and 1. Last half 56. Last quarter in 28 seconds flat. He was very, very, very good. Really, really impressed with Leland Hanover today. As I said, I give him a little peek to the outside, 50 yards of wire, and then kind of tucked him back in bed. Didn't pull the earplugs out, and he finished up strong. Last half in 103, last half in 56 and 1, last quarter in 28 flat, and I was really happy with him. Zena Kemp looked great. I said to Mike, you know, I qualified her last week without the snake cord on, and she was a little grabby. We put earplugs and the snake cord back on her today. Just watch her coming into the gate. After that, she'll be fine. The sclera's really irritated right now. Love Sensation was acting up and goofing off. I hate putting a horse on the front. I know Zena Kemp's back there and would inhale her. I know I probably shouldn't have put her on the front. I just didn't want to get her in traffic and ever make a break. I said I would rather put her on the front and get a clean line than put her in a hole and ever make a break and say, I wish I hadn't have done that. Don't break rule number one. And I was worried I might break rule number one today with Love Sensation, so I just let her roll along on the front end. She was good and scoped good after it. Probably need some vet work done before we head down to Oak Grove, but decent enough filly, and I'm pleased with what she's done. I'm pleased with what she did today. Beat fair and square, 2-2-1, 31-1 on the end of it. Last half in a minute, 3/5. Not horrible, and then especially considering Zena Kemp, Mike said, what a nice filly. Man, oh man. He said, I just put her in gear at the 5/8, and she just sauntered up, wheel her to the outside. She's just gone. What a beautiful filly. And she is a beautiful filly. She did her work really, really well, and I was thoroughly pleased with what I saw from Zena Kemp, and mildly happy with what I saw from Love Sensation. So there you have it. Every single horse we put behind the gate so far, every single 2-year-old that we have put behind the gate so far has qualified. Every one. And that is shocking. We get 17 left. 17 that will go Sunday at Northfield Park at our open house. Amy has her license now. She'll be going with some horses. I'm working on the sets. But it's not just an open house for us. It's also a qualifying day. So we have 3 pacers or 4 pacers, I think. They'll be mixed in with others. And I believe we have 3 other sets of horses. The open house will start at 10:30. Got brunch for everybody. It should be an amazing day. And it would be nice to get everybody else qualified. Everybody else qualified in Ohio. That only leaves a couple of stragglers behind. And they will qualify also. So thoroughly pleased with what I've seen from our 2025 crop of babies. That is hard to believe. I don't want to jinx us, but when you look at the entire picture of how the horses look, we've been extremely fortunate with, as far as injuries go. We've been extremely fortunate with talent level, how they've behaved, the professionalism that our yearlings showed, and I expect that. But it has to come to fruition, right? I expect a lot of things. We still have to go do it. So for the horses to show up the way they've shown up and look the way they looked, an extremely good-looking crop of 2-year-olds, and I cannot wait to start racing them. As I said, my preference now would be 10 days from now. Perfect Thought would go to New Jersey, where we're going to send all our horses to Kentucky unless they cannot just get over that bug that is clearly still lingering. If she can't get over that, then she won't be going to Kentucky at all. But as of right now, I expect all 6 will go to Kentucky. I believe that in New York will likely make his way over to Lebanon with Eric. I think he'll probably have fun driving him. He understands the horse. Just going to watch him coming off the car, use him in the turns, and hold him together in the straightaways. I'd like to get 2 or 3 starts in New York, if this is what we're looking at, and put him away. I know it doesn't show, and I know you look and say, Anthony, 2:31 seconds, who cares? No, I like this horse. I like this horse. I like his attitude. I like the way he goes about his work. And I think he is worth hanging on to. Anyway, a great day. Anytime I can leave the track and say it's a great day, I'm happy. So, hope you're happy too. All my partners out there with all the horses. It's been a great run with the babies, both here and north of the border. We have more baby races coming up, I assume Friday, Saturday at Ontario. And then, of course, Sunday with our open house. I haven't really checked in with Kelly. I sent an email out to Curtis, and Jessica Otten and and Jenna Otten are going to be a part of the broadcast. I assume Justin Irvine is going to be driving some of the horses, as is Tyler, myself, Amy McDonald, newest driver in the McDonald family. I say a lot of things, but I'm very, very proud of her. for her to be, mid-30s, been around horse her whole life, but you and I both know how tough it is in this business for females to be drivers, at least in North America, not in the Southern Hemisphere, but definitely in the Northern Hemisphere. And for her to decide that she wants to get her license and play around, qualify some babies, maybe, I'll tell you what, she may not have thought of it, but the ladies race in Jug Week, the amateur race in Jug Week, so much fun. To race on that track at Delaware County Fairgrounds Jug Week is something to behold, and she deserves it. So good for her, and I can't wait to help celebrate her first lifetime win. She's got to get there first. She's got to qualify, so she's going to do some qualifiers on Sunday, and as many as it takes to get her license as soon as we can, so she can do what many of you always wanted to, and that is know what it feels like to be in a horse race. Anyway, it was a great day today. It's been a great week. Very, very happy with everything going on. As far as racing today, obviously we have Dune, who's going to make her first start today. That's going to be exciting. I don't think I have the other one up. There was two. There was Dune, and I thought Delicious Stone DK. Yes, he races tonight. Why is it not on the calendar? They go from last night to Wednesday. Missing 2 horses. So good luck to my partners with Dune, and I believe Delicious Stone DK tonight. And then we have Melisandre, Vehement tomorrow. Freedom Hill, Aunt Lily. There's tons of horses missing on here that are going to be racing. It's going to be a busy week. Busy week. I hope you had a great day watching the babies. I hope you're having a great week wherever you are. I will talk to each and every one of you very, very soon.